back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be doing a full face of MUA makeup, MUA cosmetics. My one cheat will be a clear eyebrow gel. MUA does do like a clear mascara, I just don't have it, but I'll need that for my eyebrows and stuff, so I am just going to use my NYX Control Freak for that. But other than that, I promise you everything is entirely MUA makeup, and I definitely have a lot of MUA makeup products. In Essence, I've done Freedom. I did a full face of Amazon makeup, and I want to do a full face of Collection at some point. Maybe 17 from like Boots, and maybe W7 as well. And there's a brand called like Beauty UK. I'm thinking of maybe doing them. Basically, it's only going to be like makeup that's like quite cheap and affordable. I'm not going to do this with like expensive brands, even like expensive drugstore brands, because I don't have a lot of money. I make like £5.56 an hour, so I can't be buying that much makeup. So I do want to do more like one brand looks, but it's always going to be like quite cheap, affordable makeup. So anyway, let's just get on with this. I'm going to actually start on my eyebrows, which is something that I've started doing just like this last week. I don't really know why, but I see loads of people like they do their eyebrows like before the rest of their makeup, and I don't know, I just want to try it. The eyebrow products that I have from MUA is the Power Brow Long Wear Sculpting Brow Gel. This is in the shade dark brown. I do actually quite like this. I got this for my last first impressions. I do quite like it, but it is a little bit like blocky. It can be really thick, but I will work with it. And I also have the MUA Brow Define Tinted Brow Mascara in dark brown, and to be completely honest, I don't really like this that much. I just find it's really clumpy. The colour's a bit too dark, but you know, it's what we've got, so we're going to work with it. This is probably going to be a really long video, so I apologise. Or I don't have a like clear mascara from MUA, even though I do know that they do one. So I am just using like a NYX one just to brush through my brows before we sculpt them out. I'm going to get an angled eyebrow brush, and I'm going to use a pomade and just try and kind of fill these brows in. Okay, I have no idea what's happened here, but that's come out like 10 times thicker than I wanted it to. I'm just going to get like a spoolie from an eyebrow pencil and like brush through that and kind of try to tone it down a bit. MUA does do like a spoolie, but again, I just don't have it on me, so I'm just using one from the back of an eyebrow pencil. Don't worry, I know this looks nuts, but it's okay. It's gonna get fixed. So yeah, we're done now. I'm getting a wipe to kind of clean this. Well, I'm not going to promise you that my brows are going to look good at the end of this, but they're going to look like something. So let's do the other one now. Quite something, those brows, aren't they? I'm going to kind of do the carving thing that people do. I'm going to use the MUA Pro Base Cover and Conceal Kit in porcelain, which I have not used in some time. You just got a load of quite pale concealer shades. I actually think this is decent. It doesn't give the best coverage, but I actually think the like colour of the shades are really good. I'm just going to use a really dirty concealer brush to do this, and I'm going to use this shade here. It's probably the second palest other than the white one above it, obviously. I'm just going to use this shade here and try and attempt to carve out my eyebrows with it. Attempt, because I don't really know what I'm doing. Okay, my attempt at carving out a brow. I'm just going to kind of blend that a bit with a sponge. Yeah, I know that they don't look natural, okay? That's not the look we're going for. We're going for whatever the hell that is. I'm going to attempt to use the tinted brow gel. What I'm going to do is kind of try and get rid of, look at all the bloody pomade I use. Kind of try and wipe off most of like the excess product so that it's not ridiculously thick, because that is my main issue with this gel. I'm going to very lightly run this through. So if you're looking for some thick, bold, killer eyebrows, then there you go. It will look a bit more normal once I do the rest of my makeup. Going in with the same concealer I used to do that carving. I'm just going to put this on the rest of my eyelids as a base for eyeshadow. And I'm going to set that down with the MUA Skin Define Hydro Powder. I'm going to do some eyeshadow now, and I actually have quite a few eyeshadow palettes from MUA. I've got the matte soft focus palette, which is a very pastel one. I have the Undress Me Too palette, which is ancient. I've had this for ages, which is why it looks a hot damn mess. I got the 6 shade palette Rusted Wonders, which I used in my last first impressions. I've got the Luxe Paradise Plush Plum and Copper 10 shade palette, which looks like that. And I also have the eyeshadow palette Poptastic, which has got a load of bright colours in. Again, this is one I've had for probably like 2 years. And this one may be discontinued now, but I'm fairly certain all of the other ones they still have, but this one may be discontinued. So I'm going to start with the Soft Focus eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to use this quite warm transition-y shade here. And I'm just going to start by bringing this colour through my crease. I'm going to get the Rusted Wonders palette, and I'm going to use this dark, smoky, glittery colour right here, and I'm going to kind of pack this into the outer third of my eye. I'm sticking with the same palette, and I'm going for this this quite light goldy shade here at the top. And I'm just going to get my finger and put a little bit of this in the kind of inner third bit of my eye. I'm going to try and kind of leave the middle bit mostly. Next I'm going to go to the Poptastic palette, and I'm going to get this kind of mermaidy green colour here. It does have a little bit of a shimmer to it. And I'm going to pat this into the centre of my eyelid, kind of where I've avoided putting eyeshadow so far. Just putting it in this centre bit here. I'm going to go in with the Undress Me Too palette. I'm going to get the kind of matte black shade here. And I'm just going to add a bit of this to the outer third, just to kind of make it a bit smoky. And then I'm going to just clean up the edge of that a bit with a wipe. Going back to the soft matte focus palette, I'm going to use the matte white shade here, and I'm going to bring this through my brow bone. Okay, back to Rusted Wonders, and I'm going in with the white glimmery shade here. I'm just going to go over that brow bone stuff I've done just to give it some shimmer really. Okay, so I'm leaving the eyeshadow at that. I think this is a pretty cool look, to be honest. Just see it. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with the MUA Intense Colour Eyeliner Jet Black. It's just a pencil liner, and I'm just going to do my water lines with this. Okay, so I'm just going to curl my eyelashes, and then I'm going to go in with some mascara. Okay, so the mascara I've got to use is the Eye Define Nourish and Care mascara with avocado oil, and I'm not the biggest fan of this mascara. I just find it doesn't really do that much, to be honest, but it's the only MUA mascara I've got, so we're going to use it. Okay, Okay, so we may build that up later, but as you can see, it's not really the best mascara. I just find it doesn't really do that much, but again, I'll add some more coats later on into this look. Alright, so that's the eyes done. I don't think it's that bad. I'll let you be the judge, but I'm personally quite like the eyeshadows. I think MUA actually does do well in terms of like eyeshadows. I feel like they generally have a lot of pigment. So yeah, I can't really say anything bad. I think that the eyeliner is pretty decent as well. The mascara, I'm not so keen on, but overall it doesn't look too bad. So for primer, I've got the Wonder Vanishing Cream Primer, and I actually really like this. It feels so velvety on the skin. It kind of blurs your pores out a little bit. I really like this, so I'm just going to smother a generous helping of this all over my face. Okay, I'm just going to give that a little while to absorb into my face, and then we will continue. Okay, I've given that a good amount of time to absorb into my skin, so now I'm going to move on to some base products. And I'm going to start with the MUA Pro Base Prime and Conceal Correcting Cream. This is the green one. And I'm just going to put this in red areas on my face, which is like everywhere because my skin gets very blotchy. So I'm literally just going to put this in random areas. The thing with this concealer is that it does dry quite fast though, so I'm kind of like blending as I go with this because I don't want it to like dry and look really weird. Okay, so we've got some redness correction going on now, and now I'm going to use the foundation, and for that I've got the Skin Defined Matte Foundation. This is in Natural Ivory, and I've also got the MUA Custom Colour Foundation Mixer Lightening Warm. I'm actually going to predominantly use the mixer just because the foundation is a really off colour for me, so I'm going to use mostly this mixer, which is white with a slight yellow tint to it. And then I'm just going to add a tiny bit of the foundation and then mix these together. Okay, so that's the colour we've got at the moment. I think it'll do the job. And basically I'm just going to build this all up over my face and blend it in with a sponge. Okay, that's our foundation on. Doesn't look too bad. Again, for concealer, I've got the Cover and Conceal Kit in Porcelain, and I will be using this again. Right, I'm actually going to get the white shade here, and I'm going to kind of highlight some areas of my face with this. Now I'm going to put this under my eyes and just kind of the usual areas you'd highlight. So like down the bridge of your nose, chin, cupid's bow, a bit on the forehead, that kind of thing. Okay, I'm going to go in with the shade I was using earlier, this one here, and just put this on any areas where I want a bit of coverage, mostly around my mouth. So I don't have any powder bronzers or blushes from MUA, so I am going to do my bronzer and blush before I set my face because I've only got cream products to work with. Last thing I've got is the MUA Whipped Velvet Bronze, and that looks like this. It's actually quite pretty. And I've also got the Whipped Velvet Blush, and this one's in the shade Chi Chi, and that's what that one looks like. It's also quite pretty. So I will be doing my blush and bronzer before I set my face. Okay, I'm using this flat contour brush from Freedom. I'm just dipping this into the bronzer and kind of just put this in my general cheek area. Right, and I'm going to blend this out with the sponge. Right, I'm going to get the blush now. I'm just going to put a little bit of this on my like cheeks with my finger. Okay, so now I'm going to set my face, and I'm going to again use the Hydro powder to do this. As I said before, I don't have a powder bronzer, but what I do have is the Undress Your Skin Shimmer Highlight in Golden Scintillation, and this obviously is too dark for me as a highlight, but I am gonna kind of use it sort of as a bronzer, kind of, not really, but just a kind of bit of shimmer to my cheekbone area generally. I'm just getting this kind of brush and just kind of dusting this lightly through my cheeks, so it just kind of have a bronzy effect. So for our main highlight, I have two options. I've got the Undress Your Skin Shimmer Highlighter in Iridescent Gold, which I've had for ages. Or I've got the Undress Your Skin Shimmer Highlighter in Ice Sparkle, which I got my last first impressions. And I think both of these are absolutely gorgeous, but I'm actually going to use the gold one for this look. It's just using a highlighty brush, and I'm just going to plop this on my cheekbones, my nose, my cupid's bow, my chin, and a little bit above my eyebrows, my temples. And this is a really pretty goldeny highlighter. It's gorgeous. MUA is just really good at highlighters. I'm going to get a bit more of this highlight in the inner corners of my eyes as well. I'm going back to Rusted Wonders, and I'm going to use the shade I used earlier, kind of coppery, dark coppery shimmer, and I'm going to bring that under my eyes. I'm going to go in with the black shade from Undress Me Too and put a bit of that in the kind of outer bit of the lower lash line, just so it's a little bit symmetrical. I'm going to do our bottom lashes now with the same mascara, and I'm going to try and build it up a bit on my top lashes as well. And I'm now just going to wipe off my foundation lips and we'll finish with a lip product. So I've got a whole bunch of MUA lip products. I've got 4 of the Velvet Lip Liqueurs. I've got Symphonic, which is like a purple. I've got Sugar Coated, which is a pale pink. I've got Poise, which is like a brownie nude. And I've got Iced, which is a pale pastel-y blue colour. I've also got the Velvet Matte Metallic Lip Liqueur. I think the shade is Phoenix, and that's like a pinky colour. And then I've also got one of their Velvet Matte lipsticks, and this is a dark red and it's in the shade 1. For this I'm going to be using Poise, which is the brownie nude, and then I'm going to put a little bit of the pale pink Sugar Coated in the centre of that. I think this is quite a pretty colour. These smell delicious as well. They're kind of like watermelony. So that's what Poise looks like on its own. I think, you know, you could just leave it at this. It looks fine. But I don't know, I just kind of want to lighten it up a little bit with Sugar Coated. So I'm just going to kind of dab a bit of this in the centre. And then tap it with my finger. So that's what they look like on top of each other. Just let them dry down a bit. That's pretty much the look finished. We'll just do some finishing touches. Alright, so there you go. This is the finished full face of MUA makeup. And overall, I actually think that it looks pretty good. As I've said, I don't love all of the products, but the majority of them I do get along with really well. I think MUA does have some really good products. So it just kind of goes to show that you can create a decent makeup look using affordable brands. You don't have to spend a fortune. And I would say that MUA is really good when it comes to like eyeshadows and like highlights and cheek products. I think their liquid lipsticks are pretty decent. Setting powders are pretty good. The base products I'm not mad about, like the concealer and the foundation, like they're okay. They're not terrible, but they're not like my favourite things ever. I think that the pomade is decent on the eyebrows, but I just really do not like their tinted brow mascara. It's just too clumpy and dark. But actually, now that I've done the rest of my makeup, I think my eyebrows look more kind of like normal. Now I've done the rest of my makeup. Like before they looked a bit intense, but now I think they look decent. I'm pretty happy with this makeup look overall. I would try to do more one brand looks of affordable brands, but obviously I can't spend loads all the time because I have limited money, but I will try and do it as much as I physically can. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you like the makeup look. Bye!